Okay, I come up with another crochet question. What is the worst yarn you have ever crocheted with? I would have to say the eyelash yarn. The eyelash yarn, and there were, I mean, some of them just were terrible, horrible. I would mix them with two strands. So what I ended up doing was mixing the yarn with a strand of regular acrylic yarn and then the eyelash yarn if I wanted to use it, because that was the only way I could crochet with it. Otherwise, it just plain didn't work. I didn't, to me, it just seemed like a waste of yarn. And then when you washed it, it would fall apart. And that was the same thing with the plushy yarn. It fell apart because I did use, I was sent some plushy yarn and it just fell apart. It said do not wash in the washing machine. So, you know, all these people making plushies, if it's the same yarn that I was sent and using, and someone puts it in the washing machine, it's going to fall apart. And I was actually talking about this related to yarn because of the fact that a lot of people tagged and was making things for babies. And I thought, and someone mentioned to me, they said, well, okay, it's okay that you guys are making this stuff with this yarn. However, it's not really suitable to be sold. And I couldn't figure out what exactly they were talking about. But as they started sending me different yarns. It's like, oh, okay, this makes sense. You know, it's the same thing with acrylic yarn. It's not suitable for crocheting pot holders because it melts. It burns and it melts. And it's not good. You can, the cotton, 100% cotton, you can use. The 4-ply cotton is okay. It seems to be okay, and you'd want to put some batting or something inside so you don't burn your hand. You know, the cakes of the big cotton, but the acrylic is bad. Now, the eyelash yarns and the plushy yarns, what I found is they were falling apart, and there was little fibers, and I thought, oh my gosh, these people are making the most beautiful blankets. They say they want to sell them for babies, and then they're talking about that they don't meet the standards for what's sold in the store because the stores have to pass a standard for safety purposes to be sold in the store related to baby blankets. And I often thought, well, gosh, you know, you're making these Afghans and you give it away as a gift to someone and then it falls apart and the baby is breathing in all those particles from the blanket. And I thought, that's not good, because I know I was sneezing sometimes from some of the yarns that they'd sent because there was a lot of fibers that was coming out of the strands from the yarn. And so, yeah, there's my story with that, the worst yarn.